Welcome back to another video on a project for a customer. This is a repair for Richard. He sent me 5 of the most spectacularly packaged engines I've ever seen. And he lives in New Jersey, so I'm really glad he took the time to get this stuff packaged very well, because I work for a company that does a lot of shipping, and the East Coast is renowned for treating things badly. So everything, I'm sure, is going to be just perfect, as wrapped anyhow. So here we have a 325 AC, which again, this is interesting because I just did a little bit of work on the one I have and discovered that it is missing the horn and the tender. Also that it's missing the interesting sliding circular pickups. And I'm trying to remember what year this was. I want to say it's 1950. There's just the one year that they did the 325 AC, but we'll get this open here and take a look at it. I did try to power it, and all I get is buzzing. I don't even hear the reverse unit cycling. So Richard had said he needed his engine serviced, and I don't know for sure what's going on there, but we'll go ahead and start with the tender and see what we can find and work our way forward. Thanks for joining me today on this 325 repair. Hi Richard, I got your engine, your 325 AC Hudson apart. A couple observations. I noticed that it was actually the motor assembly chassis was loose in the shell, and just had some play. And this is what that's from. See how that's loose? Good news is I can just ping that, and it'll tighten it back up, and that'll take care of that. So lickety split. It's not a big deal there, but I tell you what, this looks so nice. I look at the top of this engine smoke unit here, and it looks like it's never been touched since it left the factory. It's gorgeous, just absolutely stunning. And I saw there was a sticker on the bottom of the tender that somebody, what's it called, the train doctor, had worked on this, or maybe that's where you bought it. I don't know which it is, but so maybe someone cleaned it up. It's hard to know, but boy, it just looks really clean, very nice. So I'll go ahead and continue forward with just doing a general service and cleanup here, and just tighten things up, clean things up, that kind of thing. I got the reverse unit working really good. Check this out. See, it cycles every time, so that's awesome. And here's what I did, because I didn't really see anything wrong with fingers or the barrel. I added a tiny bit of lubricant on the outside of the barrel, a tiny bit on the there's something called a prong underneath. It's on the back side of this lever. It has a little piece that comes up here to the side, and that's what pushes the barrel forward. But it didn't turn real smoothly, so I did something else. I have some grease here that is electrical grease, so it's conductive, and so I put just the tiniest amount on the drum where the fingers go, and it just moves super freely now, which is exactly what you want. So pretty cool. All right, I'll bring you back when I've got another update. Richard, I'm back after cleaning, lubricating. I disassembled the motor, cleaned, commutator, check brushes, springs, tightened up these clips, polished everything, relubricated everything, and here's what you got. Forward, reverse, You can hear reverse is a little bit faster in reverse than forward. And I was looking at the armature motion, and it's barely moving, so I'm not sure I can really do anything, because you can sometimes, by using thrust washers, you can move the armature back a little bit and gain some speed, going forward instead of reverse. But the way this is set up, there's really no movement. I mean, it's amazing. You can see that thing's hardly moving. So anyhow, I hope you're okay with that. But good performing engine. Now, one thing that I wanted to bring to your attention, and I'm going to take care of this, is I noticed that this headlight wire had a crack in the insulation. These wires are just really stiff. So I've got some nice, I think this is actually some sort of a silicone insulation. It's real flexible. So I'm going to go ahead and replace those two wires. Not a big deal, but and then of course, like I said, they're really stiff. You've also got that broken insulation, which potentially could cause a short. So we're just going to take care of that, and I thought I'd let you know. Hi Richard, thought I'd bring the camera back online for a quick update here. I've got everything cleaned, serviced, restored. Everything's working beautifully. I'm just about ready to take over to the layout. But thought that I would, before I put the tender back on, would just kind of make you aware of something I did. Part of what I feel like is my honor is to kind of go through these and clean them. How deeply I clean them varies a little bit on kind of what I found. And as I mentioned earlier, these both were in pretty good shape. I mean, there's a lot that seems to be in very good running order, very clean already. Like the running gear, for example, I mean, it's shiny. It's like it's been polished recently. So I didn't repolish it. I just cleaned it up. But one of the things that I struggled to understand was the front here of the tender. And I'm remiss. I should have taken pictures of this ahead of time instead of showing afterwards. But I found almost like a zinc pest along here, down along here on these little steps off of the sides of the coal bunker area. And so I cleaned that up the best I could, and I touched up the paint. Last thing, though, to do before I take everything over is take a look at this. Your link coupler got bent. Again, not a big deal, easy to straighten that out. But the packaging that was done to this was super good. It was a very tight wrap, which I appreciated, but there is a downside to doing that, and that is the coupler here on the end just got bent because it was sticking out, and they pulled that end so tight that it actually bent the coupler up, and I'm just glad it didn't break off. That would have been a whole different story. The other thing I noticed is the eccentrics here on the sides of the engine, which these would be the small rods that would stick out the furthest from the wheels. Both sides, those were caved in pretty good, and I suspect that also happened in the packaging process, because it probably would have run that way, but it didn't look like it had been run that way, if that makes any sense. There would have been weird wear grooves on stuff to have it bent in so badly. So what my plan is I repackage this engine, and I think you have at least one other steam engine. I'll see what that looks like. But on this one, I'm going to see if I can't maybe build a small cardboard cocoon, if you will, just to give something that's a little more rigid down here, and then stick out past the end of the tender a little bit, kind of to prevent this from happening. Of course, everything will be wrapped as much as I can the way you sent it to me after that, but just thought I'd mention it. Well, Richard, here's your 325 from 1951 on the rails. Get it to reverse here. I did notice when I used my MTH 4000 transformer that speaker really buzzed, and so I've hooked up my flyer transformer, and you hear a tiny buzz now, but it was really really obnoxious with that 4000. So anyhow, it's running very nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and get some cars behind it here and get it some exercise here in the layout. Hello, Richard. I wanted to bring you back. I have removed the old wheels from the rear of your 325 AC Hudson and put on Pullmore tires. So this guy's gonna pull whatever you want to pull with it now. And it's a little hard to show that when it's on the rails, so I thought I'd show it here while it's on its side. And Richard, here is your 324 with traction tires. Look at it, just pulling this load with no problem. Pretty awesome. Pullmores are night and day difference makers when it comes to traction. Crazy.